Hey there, this is Tyson Fury, aka the Gypsy King. I'd just like to thank everybody who voted for me for this year's SP Award, ESPN Award. Thank you to everybody at ESPN. Thank you to everybody in sports who voted for me to be the best boxer of the year. Real honour. Thank you very much. All the best. God bless.
What's good, family? So mash the like button and subscribe. So we just heard there from Tyson, Fury. Now, this is a little late of me, but who really cares, to be fair, because it was that shocking at the time. I needed a few months or a few weeks rest just to recover enough to actually report on it. Just to recover enough to actually fix my mouth to say that Tyson Scary won Fighter of the Year. Now, this I believe was the Ring magazine or the ESPN magazine, some goofy looking ass magazine and or organisation. Because, listen, how do you win a Fighter of the Year award when you ain't fought for 18 months and you had one fight in that year before that? Do you understand? Now, fair enough. You man already know I gave Fury his credit, but for what he did against Wilder. But people are way overcooking that. They're making out Wilder was real serious. I'm sorry. He was never serious. His record is fixed. Yeah? He paid people to jump on the floor. That's just a fact. You can try and work it out all you want. Oh, he has the biggest power in heavyweight history. Who did he beat then? To have so much power, who? Because all I know is, guess what? The first time someone put a fight up, Bermain Stavern, oops, he couldn't even put him down. Never mind knock him out. And then obviously the next time, when Bermain Stavern was paid off, he just jumped on the floor, which is the point here. Everyone Wilder's beat at some point was either no good anyway or was paid off. Look at Luis Ortiz. Luis Ortiz went in there in the rematch and Wilder looked like it. Wilder was lost in there. Truthfully, he looked shocked. And then Ortiz stood there, squared up, stuck his chin in the air and started smiling. Obviously that was the cue. Obviously the plan was, we'll box fair for 4 rounds, don't hit Wilder too hard on the chin, work his body, and then Ortiz, the sign will be when Ortiz stands up, squares up, sticks his chin right in the air and starts smiling like a goofy. That's how he looked. No word of a lie. Ortiz stood there and he looked like a right goofy. Proper goofy. And he got knocked out and put into Wilder knocked him out into the gynecological position. You can see it perfectly. His heels were into his backside. Yeah, it was a gynecological KO, no doubt. Yeah. So my point is, it's all fixed. Wilder's fights are all fixed. Fair enough. Fury went in there. The first fight he ran around. The second fight, he followed what the YB said to do, which was stick it on him, and obviously he won. But one good fight Fury's had. What about everyone else? I'm not being funny. There ain't even a whole bag of people, to be fair, because no one's really fighting. But Fury ain't even fought in the last year, and it's not like other people haven't been fighting. For example, AJ's fought. Now, whatever you want to call it, performance or whatever, not performance. The fact of the matter is, Tyson Scary ain't fought. How about that? Ain't fought in 18 months. Now thinking about it, it might have been right there. So the awards are in June. So to be fair, it probably was 2020 awards. But either way, even if it was 2020 awards, Fury don't need it. The last thing Fury needs right now is any encouragement to not be fighting. How about that? The last thing he needs is to be told, yeah, you're doing a great job. You're the best in the world at the moment. Best in the world at the moment? You mean ducking out of fights? And rescheduling fights and playing fans around? There's nothing great about that. And the more you make, the last thing he needs is gassing up and to be told he's doing a great job. It's no wonder he's getting ideas of pulling out of this next fight, again in October. I mean, he just won an award for it. Of course he is. He's thinking, well, you know what, it's not too bad this life. I can pull out, get an award. Maybe that's what the fans want. Maybe the fans like when I circle jerk them. Maybe the fans enjoy being given a date and pulling out. YB, what do you mean? How could anyone think the fans like people pulling out? Well, ask ESPN why they gave Fury the award for essentially pulling out. Because that's another thing. Even if you say, yeah, oh, but YB, the ESPN awards were before 2000. Or sorry, the ESPN awards were for 2020. Even if that's the case, guess what? Fury beat Wilder in February. But what happened after that should categorically invalidate any claim to that award. Why? What do we know? Yes, Fury won in February, but Wilder ended up having to take him to court to get him in the ring for the rematch. So, even if you say, yeah, but he had a wicked win, he should have had 2 wicked wins. And then arguably, he could have, innit? At that point, he could say, yeah, you won the award. But you then ran off with the belts. You nicked the belts. You nicked Wilder's belt and ran off. And tried to hide in the court system. And tried to hide out. And ever since then, you've become a certified runner. You run from Wilder. You run from AJ. You run from Wilder again. And now you're trying to run from Wilder again. It's bad. But really, you're running from AJ and Wilder. Because I always told you, man, the quicker the Wilder fight finishes, yeah, the sooner the AJ fight starts. So really, by delaying Wilder, he's delaying the inevitability of the AJ fight. He knows what he's doing. I've already told you, man, Fury is not stupid. He wasn't born yesterday. He knows the longer I keep stringing this Fury fight out, the more protection I've got from the AJ fight. If I go in there and hop straight in with Wilder, oops, the fans gonna be all up on my neck, even more, to get in there with AJ, which is the very last thing he wants to do. Yeah. So you, man, all you goofy fans, you best strap yourselves in because there's gonna be a whole gang of excuses, and he's already set up his October excuse. Yeah. Don't be. I'm telling you what's coming. Because what I think will happen is Fury will start camp, no doubt. He will certainly start camp at some point. And I'm sure people will say, oh no, YB, you're wrong. He's not going to pull out. Look, the camp started. What you man don't understand is the camp started last time. How Fury will pull out will be 2 weeks before the fight, he'll think, you know what, I'm not feeling in great shape. He'll then pull out and retrospectively say, well, you know, I did tell you 8 weeks ago that I was having family problems, so, you know, I haven't been able to concentrate since. And then he'll spin the whole charity thing, he'll spin the whole, what they call it, he'll spin the whole charity thing, he'll spin the whole mental health business, and that'll be that. And you'll notice what Fury does. Whenever he does some charity thing, he'll always bring his belt out. That's basically telling the WBC, you can't strip me, because, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking about mental health, and I'm talking about this, that, the other, and I'm representing the WBC. So if you strip me, you're going to look real bad. You're going to look like you don't support the same causes I'm talking about on a public stage. I'm not being funny here, but what is the longest time a belt hasn't been defended? And don't give me the whole C19 thing, because everyone else was fighting. The who was it? RBF? I'm not sure. Whoever it was made sure Pulev got his shot. And that was in 2020. They was telling AJ, you best fight Pulev ASAP. No doubt. So it's nothing to do with 2020. But anyway, this just shows for me the corruption, because ESPN, WBC, all them goofies, 100% corrupt. They're all paid by MTK. That's what's happened here. Because there's no, I'm trying to think of what different fighters there are, but you best believe, Fury running off. Since when does running from a fight earn a rematch? Because no one else is worried about fans. Oh, but YB, of course he couldn't fight Wilder again. There was no fans. Number one, there was barely any fans anyway. Yeah? As we're finding out now in the third fight, ain't no fans want to see that fight. So, what's your point? Crack on. It's kind of ironic, really, how things have worked out. Oh, we can't. Last year they were saying we can't fight, there's no fans. And now, now you're trying to fight, and guess what? There's no fans. Oh, man. But listen, Tyson's scary. You scary. How about that? You super scary. And at this point, boxing is a joke. Let me tell you that right now. Boxing is a big joke. And I think the problem is, people complain. They say, oh, the NBA. Oh, football. Oh, there's too many rich owners. But guess what? Them owners, they keep the game moving. Because they want their monies. And I hate to say it, but boxing's proven that this whole loosey-goosey approach where players own their own rights, it don't work. Because they just take the piss, essentially, and just chill out. So I think it looked better the days of Barry Hearn. The whole slave driver thing. At least they was fighting. No doubt.